everyone. Welcome to our February edition of Facebook Live. I'm Laura. I am here with my special guest, Carolyn Pemberton from America Saves. Carolyn is the Senior Program Manager for America Saves, one of our National Jumpstart Coalition partners, and we're here to talk about our February principle, which is pay yourself first, or to put it another way, make savings a priority. So first of all, welcome to Jumpstart's Facebook Live.
Thank you, Laura. It's great to be here today to talk about savings and paying ourselves first. I was really happy to hear that your teachers felt like the one principle they really wanted to instill on their students was pay yourself first, because that's what savings is all about. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through what we call split deposit. And that uses the workplace to help workers save automatically. So the easiest way to pay yourself first is to do so with every paycheck automatically. And split deposit uses direct deposit method of where you receive your pay and then you split it. Some of it goes into a checking or a transactional account, and another amount goes into a savings account. And that can even be into some type of a retirement account like an IRA. Most people, we find, get used to not having this money that automatically goes into a savings account as part of their budget, and they adjust accordingly.
Right.
And typically workers can set this up through their payroll department, and they're able to make this split, and once they do, it's automatic, and they don't even have to think about making that savings deposit any longer. It's done for them.
Yeah, I know when I was a lot younger, but when I was, was starting my career, I did that, and it makes a difference, especially when you're living on a tighter budget, and I should probably still do it now, but it really does help because it gets it out of your mind. It commits to being savings right away.
Absolutely. And what we found is that the vast majority of workers are paid through direct deposit, and those that use split deposit to save actually save on average $90 more a month than those who use another type of savings method. So it really does work.
That's compelling.
That's
compelling. We should all be doing this.
Well, and we've also found that the most common use that people have for this money that they set aside automatically is for emergency savings. So that money that you set aside for those emergencies that come up are unexpected expenses, and we all know they happen. There's a statistic out there that 2/3 of people had an unexpected expense within the last 12 months. So if it hasn't happened to you this year, most likely it will next year.
And if you're a federal government employee, it has happened to you this year.
Absolutely.
And I think maybe, without going into that's one of the lessons learned, is this is a really good tip for preparing.
Yep, absolutely. And so one of the things that America Saves offers is a program specifically for employers. And it is a way for them to encourage and motivate their employees to save automatically through split deposit. And the program is called Split to Save. Very easy to remember, and it's free to employers, and we work with them to help them promote it to their current employees as well as incorporate it into their onboarding processes. And it's a very simple program. Employees take the America Saves pledge. Then they set up the split with their payroll department, and then we support them with email and text communications to help keep them on track with their savings.
Great. And I understand that Split to Save, you can do this with virtually any financial institution that you have your accounts with?
Yes. I think the vast majority of financial institutions are set up to take a split, to be able to do that split.
That's great. So it's really, it's one of these programs that we love because it really is for everyone, and it's sort of, brand agnostic, and something that we can all do.
Exactly. And this actually is a concept that we can even teach our children. They can learn the concept of paying themselves first, paying themselves automatically from a young age, whether they are receiving money as a birthday gift from doing household chores, babysitting, or even when they have that first summer lifeguarding job. It's very easy to teach our children, take a portion of that money that you receive and put it into a savings account. And these days, technology makes that very easy to do. My son recently celebrated his birthday. He received a check from a family member, took out his phone, snapped a picture, and deposited it into his savings account immediately.
Look at you. Hey.
So that's a great way to get that habit ingrained. And for our teenagers, when they do start earning through a regular job, they can use the split deposit concept as well, as long as they're paid with direct deposit. They can do the same thing to have their pay split between a checking account and a savings account every time they get paid.
And I think, so a lot of our viewers, as I'm sure you know, a lot of our viewers are parents and are teachers, and so knowing that, and I think that, we always tell the adults who are our partners, it really starts with setting a good example. And so using something like the Split to Save program is a good way of showing your kids that it's easy and it can be done, and then that translates to them.
And I think as educators, you all know that it's much easier to teach a new behavior than to change an old behavior.
Exactly.
So if our children can learn it at a young age, then they can carry that through them all through their working career and on into their adult life.
Of course.
Right.
And just before you go on with more tips, and Carolyn's got some wonderful and very timely tips for us, but I just wanted to welcome you if you're just joining us. We are here today with Carolyn Pemberton of America Saves, and we're talking about savings, about paying yourself first and making that a priority.
Well, and the other component, Laura, of savings, especially when we set money aside for emergencies and unexpected expenses, is actually using that money. Sometimes we get so in the habit of saving that we're almost afraid to spend that money. So when those unexpected expenses, when the tires need to be replaced on your car or the dishwasher breaks down, it's okay to use that money. That's what it's there for. And as long as you continue to save automatically, you'll replenish your savings and build it back up again. But that's what that money is for.
And I think that's one of the nice things about doing it automatically, because if you do have that need to dip into the savings, and you should, that is what you're doing it for, but you don't have to rethink how to get back on it. Just you just keep going.
Going.
I really love that as a concept.
Right. And so I also just wanted to outline what I see are 4 easy steps for creating a savings habit. This can be taught to children, adults, we can incorporate this as well, but it really starts with making a plan. And you can use the America Saves Pledge. It takes about 30 seconds to complete it, and it becomes your personal plan for your own savings goals.
And I'll just interrupt you for a second. So the America Saves Pledge is on the America Saves website?
Yes, it is.
And so I'm sure that we will have it right down below in our comments. We'll have links to everything that Carolyn is talking about right down below in the comments, and so that all of our viewers can find it really easily.
Absolutely, right on americasaves.org. .org. Excuse me. So then I also say the next step, once you've made your plan, is to save automatically, like we've been talking about. And if you can't do a split deposit through your employer, like you were mentioning, most financial institutions can do that for you automatically. So every time you have a paycheck deposited, they can direct a portion of that into a savings account. And we recommend using a savings account as your savings tool, not your checking or transactional account. It's much easier to have that money set aside in a separate account. We're less inclined to use it for everyday expenses that we don't want to use it for. And then I also recommend start small in order to be successful. Start with $25 a month. Get in the habit, and then as you begin to use that and get used to saving, you can increase the amount of money. And as your income rises, when you're young and just out of college and in your first job, you start small, and then as your income rises, you can increase the amount that you're saving automatically.
And I think that's really good also for our viewers who are parents and teachers, and especially with younger kids. I think that one of the things with little kids is teaching them that commitment to saving, even if what they're saving for isn't particularly weighty or a long term. I know that my son, most of his savings goals are to buy video games, accessories, and things like that. But what I think is important is it's that mentality that you're establishing the habit, and the behavior of saying, I'm going to save, I'm going to set some aside, it's for a goal. And maybe when they're young, they're buying things that are a little bit more fun and frivolous, but it still is the good habit that they're establishing.
Absolutely. We have another program, America Saves, for young workers that works with summer youth employment programs to teach them the habit of saving and using split deposit. And last summer, the top two goals, one was education and the second one was clothing and shoes. But that's okay because, again, they're saving for things and they're accumulating the money and then they're using it. So it's just like you said, they're getting into the habit.
And absolutely, the even when it's clothing and shoes, it is certainly the better alternative to
Using
debt.
credit, right?
Yep.
To using credit.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So the other program that I wanted to talk about is America Saves Week, which is fast approaching.
It is coming up. Tell us when it is.
So America Saves Week is February 25th through March 2nd. And we have more than 2,000 organizations that participate with us, and they represent a very diverse group of companies, financial institutions, military branches, government agencies, nonprofits, a whole host of organizations. And they use the resources and materials that America Saves provides in order to help them communicate messages of savings to their audience, whether it's members, employees, customers, constituents, congregants. The materials and the resources that we make available are free, and they're easy to access, and they're available in a multiple of different formats, and they focus on a variety of topics, setting up a savings habit, making a plan, finding safe and affordable accounts, and overall financial well-being. And it's all packaged into a digital toolkit, and we offer social media, posts, social media engagement opportunities, emails, flyers, all different types of materials that you can use to communicate those messages to your respective audiences.
Absolutely. And, a lot of you in our viewing community do follow us on Facebook and also on Twitter, and we will be reposting or sharing all of the information that comes out about America Saves Weeks throughout the week.
And as teachers, they can certainly jump on to America Saves Week. They can sign up or get their school to sign up and use the resources to communicate with their students on messages that they would like to. Just real quickly, before I know we need to wrap up, I wanted to mention that each day has a theme attached to it. And Monday is Save with a Plan. Tuesday is Save Automatically. Wednesday is Save for the Unexpected. Thursday is Save to Retire. Friday is Save the Extra, and Saturday is Save as a Family. So you can tailor messages around each of those themes, and lots of them overlap, and there's lots of opportunities there to communicate those savings messages.
And we appreciate, my colleague Heather, you all know Heather, but she's usually behind the camera, and we got to participate in the planning for the Saturday theme for families, because we do, of course, work with a lot of families and with kids, and so we were honored to be a part of that committee. And
so what were some of you want to share some of the ideas that you all came up with in terms of savings messages for families?
Oh, well, I think we're going to have some messages. I can't remember what some of them
Sorry,
are.
I wanted to put you on the
that's
spot.
Okay. Because we did talk about how to make that conducive to a family, and one of the things that we talked about was the family goal, doing it as a family, and whether a shared savings jar or a shared goal, and that's one of the ways that parents can engage kids, even the youngest kids, but also do it in a way that if it's a shared goal, you're setting the example, but you're part of it, and so and that
you're not just talking about it, you're actually doing it together.
You're actually doing it, and I think that with our young people, that's probably one of the keys is not just the information, but getting them started and
putting it into practice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I think that was the one that I remember really resonated. It's something that I've tried at my household. So.
Well, and I'd like to just mention a couple of other quick opportunities about America Saves Week that the teachers can engage with individually or share with family member or families of their students. The Association for Financial Counseling and Planning Education, AFCPE, is going to be connecting savers who take the America Saves Pledge during America Saves Week with their network of accredited financial counselors throughout the country to offer a limited number of free counseling sessions. So,
how wonderful.
yes.
And you know, of course, AFCPE is also a Jumpstart partner,
Yep.
and nothing pleases us more than when our partners partner and,
Yep.
and collaborate on ideas like this. And before you go on, I just wanted to, I know we've got a lot of you. I wanted to say hi. I know that Jill is on, I know Barb. I don't have all the names, so I hope I didn't miss all of you. I'm sorry if I missed some of you, but thank you for joining us, and also thank you for those of you who are watching this later after we're live. We
Yep.
get a lot of viewers who may be viewing this right now, but after we're not live anymore. But I interrupted you.
No, that's
keep,
okay.
Keep
No,
going.
that's great. The other opportunity that we have, which I think is really neat, is savers can enter the I'm Saving For sweepstakes.
Mm-hmm.
And for a chance to win $500, savers just need to take the America Saves pledge,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can boost their potential prize by $250 by sharing their goal, their personal story, or a favorite savings tip on social media using the hashtag I'm Saving For sweepstakes.
Okay, great. Now, I've actually started to see some of these. Are we starting now, or is this mostly during the week?
It's mostly during the week. I mean, the sweepstakes, I believe, may be up and running, but that's when most people are going to be participating, will be during the week.
Okay, great. So we will have reminders about that in the comments below, including the hashtag and all the particulars, because we want everyone to participate and have an opportunity to win some money that you can add to your savings. That would be a nice boost.
Absolutely. I mean, we invite everyone to join us for America Saves Week 2019. It will be, hopefully, throughout the country, everybody will be talking about savings that week.
And we hope we can help you with that. Savings, you know, as you mentioned, it's so important, and something that really is appropriate for our youngest consumers, because it's something that they can do, and it's really a good habit.
It is a lifelong habit, and the earlier we can teach that to our children and our students, the better we'll all be as adults. And we all know that that money comes in handy, you know, when you need it for an unexpected emergency or you're saving for a large goal. It really is something to be learned as a young person.
It really is. Well, Carolyn, you are a wealth of information,
thank you.
and so thank you for joining us here. Thank you for coming out in the cold. It's a little cold here in Washington, and I know it's cold where a lot of you are. So, and Carolyn trudged out to come here and join us.
I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to be here. Just as a quick aside, my husband is actually a financial education teacher now in high school, so it's kind of fun that we're all in this together.
Oh, that's wonderful. And thank you to him and all the rest of you who do bring financial literacy to life for our nation's students, and give them the jump start on their life as adult consumers. So thank you again, Carolyn, for
My
your
pleasure
tips.
to be here.
You know, so whenever it's America Saves Week, that's sort of the first sign that reminds us that Financial Literacy Month is just around the corner. And so remember that Financial Literacy Month will be in April, and Jumpstart will be celebrating on April 3rd with our annual awards dinner. If you want information about our honorees that have just been announced, and of course information about how to purchase tickets or sponsor tables, we hope that you will be able to join us here in Washington on April 3rd as we honor some of the greatest individual and organizational achievements in financial literacy this year. And then also we will be right back here on March 12th with another edition of Facebook Live. In March, of course, our financial literacy principle of consumer protection and identity theft, so you won't want to miss that. I won't be here. We will have a special guest host next month, and so I do hope you will join us right back here in March at 3 p.m. Eastern. I was thinking Valentine's Day and I said Easter. Speaking of Valentine's Day, I wish you all a great Valentine's Day this week, and a happy President's Day coming up. And for all of you in cold parts of the country, stay warm and dry, and we will see you right back here in March. Thanks very much.